The grand jury returned an indictment today against Jake Gardner. And that indictment charges the following counts. The first count charges manslaughter in connection with the death of James Scurlock.
What's your name? Where you're from, sir?
My name is Jake Gardner. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska.
And then, Jake, what brings you to D.C.?
I'm here for the inauguration.
Okay, I understand you were a volunteer for the Trump campaign?
Yeah, I was a volunteer for the Trump campaign in Nebraska, California, and Michigan.
Just a quick message before the video starts. If you could like this video, leave a comment below, but most importantly, hit the red subscribe button and the little bell next to it, which will notify you when these videos become available. And most importantly, share this video around. That helps me stay competitive with the big multinational corporations such as CNN and the BBC that YouTube is unfortunately choosing to prioritize. Thank you very much and enjoy this video. Greetings, free thinkers. Welcome to the Hoggcast. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing fine. I certainly was up until I found out about the Jake Gardner situation. That's what this video is about. Jake Gardner was the man who he had his own business, and like a lot of businesses, they came under attack, direct attack by these neo-Marxist organisations. The one with the three-letter acronym begins with B and ends with M, and the one a bit longer begins with A and ends with A. I'm sure you know who it is. Now, these people attacked his family business, and he defended his business by, he was on his own property, defending himself, his family and his business, and he opened fire and actually ended one of the looters, one of the rioters who were in his property just to damage it and break it. He was charged with manslaughter. Honestly, we've got some clips to go over to show you who this man was, because he's being smeared. The left-wing mainstream media are smearing him, making out he's a supremacist, this and that, and all the usual stuff. You know what you know. The usual insults, the usual smears. The poor man's ended himself. After that verdict, he was indicted by a grand jury, manslaughter as well as other charges. He's ended himself. So we're going to go over a couple of clips to show you the grand jury, and we're going to show you a clip of the man himself, because they're trying to dehumanize him. So without further ado, we'll get into the clips. But if you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell and share this video around. That helps me stay competitive with the big multinational corporations such as CNN and the likes that often get pushed to the forefront on this platform. Okay, so let's get into the clips. Right, so we'll start with the grand jury indicting of Jake Gardner himself. Look, this is the age of morality policing. The law, and it's not just in the United States, it's happening here in Britain as well, which we saw with the anti-lockdown protesters in London over the weekend, in which the same officers who took a knee to BLM and the like, they took a knee to them, but they charged full pelt at the anti-lockdown protesters. It's two different rules for two different groups doing exactly the same thing, and this is what's happening with the Jake Gardner situation. Had the roles have been reversed, had it been a Trump supporter or a group of Trump supporters doing that in a Democrat neighborhood, doing it to Democrat-owned businesses, you know full well that the man who hypothetically would have defended himself from the hypothetical Trump supporter, you know they wouldn't have pressed charges against him. Okay, this is happening a lot. Anyway, let's take a look.
The grand jury returned an indictment today against Jake Gardner. And that indictment charges the following counts. The first count charges manslaughter in connection with the death of James Scurlock. The second charge or the second count charges the use of a firearm in the commission of a felony. The third count that they decided to charge was attempted first-degree assault. And the fourth charge or count is terroristic threats.
My good God. Okay, so let's get this straight, all right? You defend your own business from people who are trying to destroy it, okay? They've already destroyed all the other businesses, burnt them down, looted them. But in the modern world we find ourselves in, if you happen to be a Trump supporter and you defend your business, you get charged and indicted by a grand jury for terroristic threats when you're defending your own business, your family's livelihood. How disgusting is that? It's the roles have been reversed in modern society. The roles are reversed. So, and this was warned about in the Bible, and many Abrahamic religious texts warned about the days when this would happen. They warned that it was the end days, the end times, where good is evil, evil is good, up is down, down is up. Nothing makes sense. And that would appear to be what we're seeing now. Not just in this situation, but this type of thing is often applied. You can apply this law to a lot of things. Just think about it. You know, I don't need to tell you. I'm sure something's happened, or you've seen something, or you've heard something just in the last month alone. Just in the last month alone, that just doesn't make sense. That people who are in charge, who have been given positions of power, make nonsensical decisions. And it leaves you scratching your head thinking, why are these people making these decisions? It's just backwards. That's what I'm saying. We are living in the end days. So after this happened, after this man, Jake Gardner, was charged of all of these things, he ended his own life. He ended himself. However, before we leave, I want to show you the next clip, which is because they're smearing him all over social media. They're smearing him, okay, for defending his own business. So they're smearing him, but I want to show you this clip of him. So I'm going to inject the human back into him because they've tried to suck out the human and to demonize him. So let's move on to the next clip. Okay, so this is Jake Gardner, and this is him speaking to, I believe, a reporter or someone who's interviewing him, and he's telling the world about himself. So let's listen to what he has to say.
Can you just tell us your name and where you're from, sir?
My name is Jake Gardner. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska.
And then, Jake, what brings you to D.C.?
I'm here for the inauguration.
Okay, I understand you were a volunteer for the Trump campaign?
Yeah, I was a volunteer for the Trump campaign in Nebraska, California, and Michigan.
Okay, and
that's what he was indicted for. Okay, that's really what he was indicted for. His political persuasion. That's what Western society is divulged to. And the blame for that lies squarely on the left.
What do you think about what's going on here today with the Women's March?
These people just want to be heard, and it's a very appropriate venue, a very appropriate weekend with all eyes on them. So, it is what it is. It's kind of crazy being in the belly of the beast here with my Trump gear and my Make America Great vest on my dog, and all the dirty looks. Everybody loves the dog until they read the vest, but everybody just wants to be heard, and so that's what they're doing. They're not being violent. There's not even that issue with this group.
Do you think they're justified in some of their criticisms of the new president?
I do. Everyone's justified in their criticisms. You can't tell anybody what they're entitled to feel on any level, and if somebody feels that this is something that's going to get in their way, I could see the women's rights argument against the conservative right, with Mike Pence being the vice presidential choice. Donald Trump is a very left-leaning social kind of guy. You know, he may be a conservative with government, be shrinking the government, and have a lot of plans on that front, on the conservative side. But socially, he's as libertarian, as libertine leaning as it goes, I think. And so, I think a lot of their criticisms they're going to be proven wrong, but they certainly have the right to speak their mind.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so you heard from the man himself, and he makes a lot of good points. Bearing in mind, this is at the inauguration of Donald Trump, so this was a good 4 years ago, and everything he said was right. But look, listening to what he said, you can see that he's an independent who voted for Trump. He certainly isn't partisan. He said so himself. He said that the other side, the Democrats, the people who we've now become to know as the woke left, have a right to speak, a right to have their own opinion. Isn't it strange that they often try to, they don't return the favour. They don't tell us we have a right to speak, or as conservatives a right to have our own opinion. On the contrary, we're not even allowed to defend our own homes or businesses and families. And this is the man that they've tried to dehumanise all over Twitter, social media. Twitter's just such a toxic place. I've only got a Twitter account really to share my videos. I hope you share this, because I want people to see that Jake Gardner is a human being. Okay, and he's a law-abiding human being, not like Mr. Minneapolis, who kick-started off all of the protesting on disturbances and all of the destruction that's been caused. I'm not saying it is Mr. Minneapolis's fault. Okay, I'm not saying he deserved to die on that day either, especially over an alleged fraudulent $20 bill note. That doesn't warrant the death penalty. That's not my point. The point is, it was that event that kicked off all of this chaos. Okay, and the point is, this man is law-abiding. This man is cut from a completely different cloth than Mr. Minneapolis. Okay, now this is the man they've tried to dehumanize. I've hopefully have rebuilt some of his humanity. I hope you would share this video around. See, this guy isn't all of the regular insults, the fascist, the this or that. All of those insults are levelling at him. They're trying to completely dehumanize. So if you can, share this video around. If you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And as I said, share this video around. That'll help me stay competitive with the big multinational corporations. But on this video's case, it's not really about that. It's about giving Mr. Jake Gardner his humanity back. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.